Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6.
Baltimore is hit by more police violence.
And Vice President Joe Biden makes a surprise visit to Iraq.
And Ted Cruz announces his pick for vice president.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacob Reynolds.
And I'm Topher Lane. Syracuse University's annual Mayfest and Block Party are tomorrow. We have all the details tonight in our top story.
SU's annual Mayfest will kick off tomorrow at 1 p.m. The event will have free food, drinks, and beer for students over the age of 21. Entertainment includes performers Vince Staples, Louis the Child, and Public.
The event will go until 6 p.m., at which point students can prepare for Block Party. The event will be held in the Carrier Dome with headliners The Chainsmokers and Chance the Rapper. Block Party will start at 7:30 p.m.
Now, Mayfest will interfere with parking around Walnut Park as drivers are being asked to not park on Walnut Avenue or Walnut Place. Students can park in the Harrison parking lot just a block away. As April winds die down, so too does National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. As their first package ever, the I-Team here at Citrus TV News takes an in-depth look at the problem of sexual assault on campus.
Like what happened? Okay, cool. So I was raped twice on this campus at Syracuse University, and I like to start with that sentence because I think it really holds a lot of power.
This is Samantha Scaler. She is a junior viola performance and music history double major from just outside of New York City. She studied abroad in Strasbourg last year and traveled to 17 different countries. She's heavily involved on campus. She's a part of the first-year players, Sigma Alpha Iota, and the It's On Us campaign, a movement that advocates for survivors and encourages bystanders to speak out against sexual assault. Scaler said since joining the campaign, she's been able to support survivors here at SU.
I come into contact with survivors often. On this campus alone, probably have met or talked to online almost 200 survivors since I got this position with the It's On Us campaign.
So it would appear that Scaler is unfortunately not alone in her experiences. But you wouldn't know that by the official numbers. Under the Clery Act, created in 1990, universities are required to disclose statistics about crime on and off campus every year, including sexual assault. According to the most recent Clery Act stats from 2012 to 2014, there were a total of 26 reported sexual assaults, including one reported rape in 2013 and another in 2014. This means that Syracuse University reported that less than 1 in 1,000 students was sexually assaulted during that time. A survey from the Association of American Universities published last September says 23% of college females will experience some sort of unwanted sexual contact. Syracuse is not the only school with low Clery Act stats, however. Schools like Cornell and Lemoyne also have similar statistics. So why is there a discrepancy?
What is that discrepancy? Why is there a discrepancy?
I would say it's not necessarily a discrepancy per se.
This is Sheila Johnson-Willis, the interim Title IX coordinator for the university. She is in charge of the entire formal process of reporting a sexual assault to the school. It seems confusing that she would say there's no discrepancy, but one possible explanation is that people just don't report their attacks.
People are assaulted all the time on this campus, but not everyone comes forward about it. And that is just, a personal choice and no one's fault. So that's where I think that quantifying the number of assaults on a campus is really difficult to do because people don't come forward, and that's just kind of the reality of the situation.
Not only do you have to recount the experience while the process takes place, you need to decide where to report the assault in the first place. You can report it to DPS, the Syracuse Police, or you can get help at the counseling center and choose to report it through the Title IX coordinator. But where is the best place to go? Because the student drives the process, every individual's experience is different, but generally the process begins at the counseling center, where victims meet with an advocate from the Sexual and Relationship Violence Response Team. From there, the student decides whether or not to go through with the informal or formal resolution process. The informal process could include things like a no-contact order, a schedule change, or an educational conversation with the perpetrator, whereas the formal process is actually formally filing a complaint against a student through the Title IX coordinator and the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities.
Even if a student chooses not to file a formal complaint, we receive a number of other kinds of notifications. Often, the most common kinds of intervention that students seek from the institution are informal resolution, or they just want to notify us so that we can track the situation. So just because they're not going forward with the formal process doesn't mean that we're not aware of and providing services and support to them.
The person Scalar says raped her was found not guilty by the University Conduct Board presiding over her formal complaint. Scalar says not only does she still have class with this person, but she also says this individual had the audacity to show up in an "It's on Us" t-shirt to Joe Biden's speech last November.
But I am frustrated that I have gone through an entire year of this and no one has held any sort of accountability on him or themselves to do something about this.
There is no easy way to fix the problem of sexual assault on our campus. The culture of victim blaming and a reporting process that can be hard to navigate while victims are still coping make it difficult for improvements to be made. The reality is that it's on us, both the students and the administration, to create change for the future of Syracuse University, a future Scalar says she still believes in.
Yeah, I would still come to Syracuse because I want to make it better, because I work at a children's camp and I get emotional talking about this. Some of my campers, this is their #1 school, and I want to make it as safe of a place as possible. So I would absolutely choose Syracuse again just so I could create a safe environment for those kids.
Reporting for the CitrusTV I-Team, I'm Josh Rosenblatt.
Now, the display of blue and orange cups on the quad yesterday, courtesy of It's On Us, gave more information about sexual assault here at SU. The Office of Health Promotion Projects says that almost 2,500 sexual assaults happened at Syracuse from 2015 to 2016. And coming up, we'll tell you who Ted Cruz picked to fill out his ticket before even securing the nomination.
And how a long-standing military requirement for men might soon apply to some young women.
But first, Brendan tells us what to expect for weather. Brendan, what do you have?
Thanks, Jake and Topher. Looking at our Citrus TV quad cam, you can see some clouds have moved into the area, eliminating the warm, sunny day we had been experiencing. Temperatures got into the mid-50s, upper 60s is what it's feeling like with the sun. Unfortunately, that was knocked down this afternoon. Will the sun be returning for Mayfest tomorrow, or will these clouds bring rain to the party? I'll have your answer coming up in my full weather forecast.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Women may soon be required to register for the military draft. Today, the House Armed Services Committee approved a measure that requires women, like men, to register for the selective service systems when they turn 18, which makes it possible for them to be drafted. However, the U.S. hasn't made a military draft since the Vietnam War. Vote was split 32-20, and this move comes just months after the Defense Department lifted gender restrictions on serving in frontline combat units. Senator Ted Cruz announced yesterday that Carly Fiorina would be his running mate if he won the Republican nomination. The move is a desperate attempt to alter the course of the presidential fight that Donald Trump is winning. Cruz's announcement is the grandest diversionary tactic a presidential candidate can stage. Baltimore police today are defending the officers who shot a 13-year-old twice yesterday afternoon. The two officers believed the teenager was holding a pistol, which turned out to be fake. When confronted about the gun, the boy ran before the officers opened fire. He was shot in the leg and the shoulder. The teenager was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to make a full recovery. A Milwaukee woman is dead after her 2-year-old son accidentally shot her in a car. Police say the 26-year-old woman was driving with the toddler when he got hold of the gun. Investigators determined the gun belonged to the woman's boyfriend, who works as a security guard. She was able to pull the car over and call 911, but died before an ambulance arrived.
Vice President Joe Biden is in Iraq today discussing ways to fight ISIS advances. Biden met with the Iraqi Prime Minister and Parliament Speaker, saying they seem serious and committed to the matter, despite the challenges it poses. It's the first time Biden has visited the country since back in 2011. And dozens are dead in Syria after airstrikes took out a hospital. At least 30 people were killed in the strike, including several children. The Syrian government has denied any involvement, though local sources say either Syrian or Russian airplanes were responsible. This comes as violence in Aleppo has intensified over the last few days, despite a truce being in place. And with less than 100 days before the start of the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, the pressure is on for the Brazilian government. With the president facing impeachment, the Zika virus still on the rise, and dangerous levels of water pollution, it could spell disaster for this summer's games. But Olympic organizers say there's no need to worry and that Brazil's turmoil is not affecting the progress of Olympic preparations. And now let's send it over to Topher and Brendan to see what we can expect after the break.
Thanks, Jake. We'll have your ICYMI segment coming up next break, where we look at all of the stocks that came out at the end of the quarter.
And we've had a dry but moderate week here. Will the seasonal temperatures stick around for the weekend festivities? I'll let you know coming up after the break.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
We had a sunny but chilly day here in Syracuse. Is the sunshine here to stay? Well, we have Brendan luckily in studio to tell us what to expect this weekend.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah, very nice day here overall. A little bit below average, but outside right now we're seeing 52-degree temperatures. Clouds, as I talked about in the Fastcast, are moving into the area. The wind is picking up. We're seeing between 15 and 20 mile per hour wind gusts right now, feeling like 48 degrees with the wind chill. As we take a look at your local radar, you're able to see those clouds are bringing some storms into the area. Luckily, they're staying to our south. As we take a bit of a wider look out, you're able to see on our surface analysis map that it's a low pressure system along with a mixed front in the area. Luckily, it's going to keep most of the storms to our south, but there is a chance for some rain later in the weekend. As we take a look now at your future tracker for tomorrow afternoon when Mayfest is around in the area. If we can advance on to that next slide, you're able to see the storms moving into the area. A few scattered showers might be around in the afternoon for Mayfest. Luckily, there's only about a 30% chance of rain, so not that bad overall, but there is some rain in the area for Mayfest. Unfortunately, luckily, I don't think you need an umbrella or a jacket for the festivities. Taking a look now at your overnight temperatures, 37 degrees is your low. There is some storms in the area. Cloudy with a few showers is what I'm calling it. 8:03 tonight is your sunset. And then taking a look at your Citrus TV 5-day forecast, you're able to see tomorrow 35% chance of rain, 59 is your high. Then the rain moves into the area Saturday night. Unfortunately, it's going to be sticking around all day Sunday and into Monday morning. So Saturday is the nicest day of the weekend. 63 degrees is your high. It gets colder into Sunday and Monday. The rain will be out of here by Monday afternoon. So 54 is your high on Monday. And then Tuesday, 64 will be your high. The rain's out of here. It's nice and sunny.
Now, obviously, everyone getting ready for Mayfest tomorrow. Will it be beautiful weather in Walnut Park?
Overall, it will be nice in Walnut. There will be clouds overhead and chance of rain, as I mentioned. Luckily, it's not more than 35–40% chance of rain. So nice and dry. It should be pretty nice out there.
Alrighty, thank you, Brendan.
Thank you.
And now we turn to our ICYMI segment where we fill you in on all the entertainment, consumer, and health news you may have missed. Topher, what do we need to know?
Thanks, Jake. Samsung Electronics has recorded unexpected first quarter profits thanks to the successful early release of its new smartphone. The results from the flagship Galaxy handset will encourage shareholders after a disappointing market last year. The new models with an improved camera, waterproofing, and microSD storage support are expected to set a new first-year shipments record. And in other stock news, Facebook just posted a new status and investors liked it. The social media site's stock rose 8% this quarter, which translates to 77 cents a share of revenue of about $5.38 billion. Analysts initially predicted 62 cents a share on revenue of about $5.26 billion, and Facebook crushed those predictions. As a result, prices today rose to an all-time intraday high of $120.79. Well, if you like movies like Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon, you definitely love DreamWorks, and now you'll definitely love Comcast too. Comcast just purchased DreamWorks for a whopping $3.8 billion. The move mirrors when Disney bought Pixar for $7.4 billion nearly a decade ago in 2006. Comcast, which has been in buying mode over the last few years, finally will get the big fish it's been hunting for. And yogurt company Dannon is looking to reduce their footprint on the environment. The company is announcing a new supply system to improve animal welfare standards and conserve soil, among other things. All the milk in Dannon's yogurt will also come directly from farms and 2 co-ops instead of being taken from a plant and being processed. And the president of Yale announced yesterday that the university will keep the name of a residential college honoring 19th century politician John Calhoun. Yale's president Peter Salovey announced yesterday that 2 new residential colleges will be named for Anna Pauline Murray and Benjamin Franklin. The selection of Murray marks the first time the school has honored an African American or a woman with the naming of a college. And prescription opioid medication was found on Prince by authorities investigating his death. The pills found are commonly used to treat pain and believed to be from Prince's health scare a week before his death. Investigators have brought in the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration to help with the case. They are still awaiting toxicology results to further understand why he died. And now let's send it on over to Gabriella Rusk for sports. Gabby?
Coming up, we've got men's and women's lacrosse in the ACC tournament, a doubleheader for Syracuse softball, and a fashion faux pas in sports. Stick with us. Sports is next.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Huntington.
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Welcome to sports. We're kicking things off with Syracuse men's lacrosse in the ACC tournament semifinal. The Orange meets an old foe, the 11th ranked UNC Tar Heels. Earlier this season, Syracuse dominated, winning the at-home matchup 13-7. But UNC is coming off winning a big upset, #1 Notre Dame last week, and that momentum could carry over into tomorrow's game. Here's what Coach Desko and a few players said today about the Tar Heels.
Well, I think everybody's excited to have a shot at winning, their conference championship, and all teams are playing very well right now. And certainly to be playing Carolina, a team that we just played a couple weeks ago that just turned around and beat Notre Dame, just a great game to participate in.
I think they were relentless. They never quit. You saw it. They were down by, I think, 5 goals in the fourth quarter, and came back and 7 unanswered goals to win that game. And we need to, as we've been struggling with all years, closing out games, we really need to, if we have the lead, we need to close it out because we see what they can do.
They're a great team, and I don't know if anything that really changed, but anyone can beat anyone nowadays, and there's so many good lacrosse players and so many good teams that you got to come to play every single day.
Yes, almost a year ago we walked off the field with the ACC championship, and it's great to have the opportunity to do it again, but it all starts with North Carolina on Friday night.
And the ACC semifinal game will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. down in Kennesaw, Georgia. The women also in the ACC tournament quarterfinal game against Boston College, currently in action, tied. Score right now is 6-6. Citrus TV Sports will have more updates on Twitter, so be sure to follow us. Over to Syracuse softball. The Orange hosts Siena in a doubleheader today. First game was only 5 innings. Q's with the W and a 9-1 finish. Second game underway at Skytop Stadium. The score right now is 8-4, bottom of the 6th. Again, Citrus TV Sports will have that full game update online tonight. From softball to baseball, Syracuse Chiefs host Pawtucket Red Sox in just a few minutes. Rehabbing Major Leaguer Eduardo Rodriguez is pitching tonight for the Paw Sox. This game will be the first he has pitched this season since he was sidelined with a knee injury. Chiefs also have a player on the mend. Nationals' Ben Revere will be in the outfield. That game at 6:35 tonight. On the ice, the New York Islanders with a 2-goal win over Tampa Bay in Game 1. Shane Prince scored 2 goals in the first period, and Thomas Greiss would finish the night with 33 saves. For the Bolts, Andre Pula and Valtteri Vipula each put up 1 goal apiece. It wasn't enough in Tampa. Final score 5-3. The game 2 on Saturday at 3 p.m. Final round of the NFL draft tonight in Chicago. New York teams picking: Giants at the 10th pick, Buffalo with 19th, and New York Jets right after at 20th. A few Syracuse football players on the draft board: punter Riley Dixon and defensive lineman Ron Thompson, likely to be drafted later rounds this weekend. Lastly, Let's talk sports and fashion, what not to wear. That's what some are saying about the U.S. Olympic team's new uniforms. We all remember the Ralph Lauren sweaters from the Winter Olympics 2 years ago. Here's what the team is wearing at the opening ceremonies in Rio this summer. Alternating colored button-ups, red, white, and blue shoes. Very, very patriotic. Well, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Gabby.
And we'll be right back with Gabby to tell you what games you need to watch this weekend.
Stay with us on the other side of the break.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So, Gabby, what games should we be watching this weekend?
Well, Jake, I know you have a dog, so Syracuse Chiefs got Bark at the Park on Saturday. Bring your dog to the game. Great time. Great time.
If I took the dog to that, no one would be able to watch the baseball game because the dog would be going crazy.
Dixon loves baseball.
He's got like all the things he hates. People, balls, like he would be so distracted. But on a sadder note,
yes.
It is our last show here at Citrus TV. All three of us seniors, and this is the last show of the semester here at Citrus, and also our last ones as students at this university.
Well, that's depressing. But thanks to everyone who made Thursday News possible. It's been a great time. Shout out to my sports crew.
Yeah, we've been blessed to have everyone we've had here working all the positions in the control room, whether it's in studio. Everyone's been here has been just so dedicated to the show, and everyone, I mean, just co-writing along with Jake has just been, it's been such a great experience, and I'm definitely gonna miss it. Moving on.
It has been. It's been a great time with everyone here, Topher. It's been my pleasure to anchor with you, and Gabby, to have you on for sports has been incredible, but we would not be here today without the people behind the camera that you don't get to see. Kathleen, our floor director, does a great job. She's a senior. I've worked with her for years, and she's a very close personal friend to me. And to our producer, Emma, who's also a senior. We wouldn't have a show to read into the camera to you every night without her writing the words that we have had the pleasure of speaking. And a lot of good moments here at Citrus TV. It'll be rough to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's been just, all of us have dedicated so much time to being here at Citrus. Whether, I mean, everyone, I feel like I started the latest of the three of us. I came my sophomore year, but it's just been such a huge part of my life. And, you know, I've made such great friends, and I feel like it's a lifetime thing. It's just going to stay with me for the rest of my time here.
Whoa, Topher, man.
So, Gabby, what was your favorite sports moment?
Oh, covering Sweet 16, the Elite Eight for Citrus TV Sports. That was a highlight, so.
Well, that is unfortunately all the time we have for you tonight. And for the last time, I'm Jacob Reynolds signing off for Citrus TV News.
And I'm Topher Lane. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night, Syracuse.